Every living nature's particles blossomed beautiful land of Mongolian summer and about to live with migratory birds, whispering to us fall beginning. We are pleased to represent our magical reindeer trip held at Mongolian very north province called Husko, an especially isolated place which everyone's dreamed to visit, Darktin Sinkil Hotor. Our trip organizers called their reindeer riders as a Big Dipper. Reason is we have received very experienced 7 beautiful ladies from New Zealand, Australia, and America, just like 7 shining stars as Big Dipper on the night sky. Trip has been organized with well-experienced team who organized camel trip during the coldest time of Mongolia successfully last winter and shared the documentary with you. Our well-prepared riders have left Ulaanbaatar on 22nd of August to Husko province. We have passed cities of Darkhan, Irtnet, and Center Bolgan province. Our very first day of trip finished at Urtuu tourist camp in Hotogundursum of Bolgan province. Today, we have amazed by one of the beautiful formation of nature, which is Orantaga, the volcano. This is not active volcano. Its region is registered as a national park on 1965. Volcano is situated at altitude of 1,686 meters from sea level. Top part is shaped like a pot. Volcano edge is 600 meters wide and 60 meters deep. Inside of the volcano has round-shaped lake which is 1.5 meters deep. Diameter is 20 meters and surrounded by forest. Tulak, Togo, and Jaluch volcanoes are also situated at pot-shaped volcano from 12 kilometers into the north side. Scientists have proved that these volcanoes were active during the Fourth Era, which is 25,000 years ago. Our riders were pleased to see volcano, took a memorial group photo together as a marvelous start of the trip. As a tradition, we need to round the oval for 3 times as a clockwise, as a respect of a nature. Volcano seems such a beautiful spot from every angle. Evening of the day at on a tourist camp, our 7 riders have received their dells as a tradition. Reason why it's tradition is we have given winter dells, boots, and hats on a camel trip last year. Reindeer trips dells had been designed by Tsitske, who thought of traditional style, convenient to ride horses and reindeers as possible, and of course, weatherproof. Actually, dells are very convenient and great clothes for every riders all the time. Dell giving ceremony was one of the highlights of the trip. Also, everyone was very excited for the gift and took a photo together happily. Rest of the evening was an unforgettable night for everyone. Look at our ladies, they're all looking Mongolian now. Second day of our trip. In the bright morning, we have left camp with full of energy and happiness. On the way, we have stopped for decent lunch at the city of Murang. As usual, Summer rain has got through on our way. Stuck in the mud is essentially a pretty normal occasion for us. Nothing could stop us, so we finally come through Langosum and got to see 13 Shamanova in the late evening. This hour had built by Prince Tingun, son of King Aftersahang, 500 years ago, for Mongolian United Empire. It was very informative to read history of the place from the Avars. We have passed through Langosum on our way, spend the night with local family that we have planned. Third day starts now. It was more marvelous morning to wake up such a picturesque place. Jade white rock was covered all the plants and flowers on the mountain valley like a fairy tale. Family that we have willing to meet from 1,000 kilometers that led them this. He used to work as the head of the unit for a long time and received lots of respect from locals. Family treated every one of us just like their own child with generosity and full of delicious food as a Dakha tribe way. After amazing breakfast all together, we have started our preparation instantly. Riders have loaded all our trip's necessary luggage on horses. Riders saddled their own horses and riding them for a while just to get to know each other. So far, we have 5 horses full of stuffs. Each horse left 70 to 80 kilos of luggage, and most important thing is packing strings to balance the weight. Once we're ready to leave Dalat Damden's home, his beloved wife Bayanjara wished us a good luck in a special way, which is sprinkling milk and wish us a safe journey for everyone in a trip. This family is living 35 kilometers from center in a beautiful place with Dilgarhan Mountain. For many years, they have cherished their place every day with the pride. It's a heaven for animals and peoples as well. Local peoples are generation of Mongolian great ancestors with deep nomadic culture to receive their guests from Prince Ingune's gate, 13 Shamanawa with full of milk as an indication of innocent, pure heart, generosity, and wishes you great journey for your future life. We were extremely proud Darkha tribe's big heart and generosity. That's how our journey started. This is Dina, who owns the travel company in New Zealand, and we are seeing our translator Horla, Norov, who is a guide, and Dalla Dabna is one of the sons. Hoiga is actually a local wrestler. Our chef Boya, Chloe, our main organizer of our trip, and of course our main guide Dalla Dabna, and one of the main organizer Unuburung as well. Dalla Damden's horses were well trained for everything. The packing horses are well trained, and the horses were very used to with the travelers and very kind to our riders as well. Here is Marilyn and Rose. She's coming to Mongolia for 3 times, and the space engineer lady. Oh, we have met the camels on the way as well. It's quite unusual. We have amazed by nature and exploring more and more on the way, and arrived at River Hook. we're seeing Marilyn, who is mother of Dina, and she loves horse, and she was used to be journalist and linguistic person. Here's our Sue. She is small animal vet, also a very great rider. Now we can see with the grey horse Stephanie. She's from Australia. She's our medic. She prepared the whole gear for medical stuffs which we need for our trip. The river is in Cusco province, west side of Hertaserdeg mountain, placed at Darkhat Sotor's main clean water supply, which has Mongolian 36 main river and 218 small springs and 337 lakes and 24 mineral water sources. From this source, Great Siling River got its origin and flow through Bagal Lake. One of the largest rivers is in Cusco, named Dilgir. Also, river Shishkit become an origin of Yenisei River. It flows through Arctic Ocean. As we exploring them on a trip was extremely fascinating. In Darkhat Sotor, rivers and lakes which do not flow through outside of province have lots of fish. Also, this unique place is one of the main resources of many endangered animals and plants of Mongolia as well as in the world. Another interesting thing is Mongolia's tallest larch grows in place named Irik Hash at Darkhat Sotor. Targan Lake is one of the main resources of Darkhat's whitefish. Some scientists have proven that this lake might be very last resource of Darkhat's whitefish. Cusco's 70% of forest trees grows at Darkhat Sotor, and Mongolia's biggest mammals such as reindeer, moose lives here. After we have passed the river hook, we travel through north side. Darkhat tribe is one of the main tribes which kept shaman religion as an ancient time. They mainly live Cusco province, very north side units such as Vinchinlum, Tsaganur, Ulanul, and Bainzur, where it bordered with Russia. This unique tribe is generation of forest citizens in early times mixed with Mongol and Turek tribes. Darkhat tribe consists of 32 small tribes. As we're traveling, we arrive at the sign of Red Taga, which means red forest. Of course, it's a protected area, which is national park. According to history, in 1206, when the Borchi was general of West Nation and Mokle was East Nation, Darkhat tribe used to mix it with many different tribes together and live in mountains of Altai, Hanga, and Cusco. Another part of the tribes lived east side of Siling River, where the bank of Onum River is. That's how the tribe separated under Mongolian Empire's East and West Nation. In 1270, according to command of Kublai Khan, Chinggis Khan's shirt and gear he was living had to stay and buried forever at Artus in Inner Mongolia. To guard Chinggis Khan's gear, and 500 families had moved to Artus from east and 500 families from west nation that time. These 500 families consists from Darkhat, Urencha, Sharnod, and Menga tribes. Since the east and west nations Darkhat had moved to Artus, quite few Darkhat tribes stayed in Mongolia, and they are living Cusco province till nowadays. As we're traveling along way, we have fascinated by nature, beauty, and arrive at very unique formation of nature again to camp. You can see it's our fourth day already started. It was quite chilly night, but nothing seems to problem to our ladies who explore new every day. As usual, we have having breakfast together with our professional chef's dish. It's not always convenient to have Mongolian dish all the time and on a trip. That's why we bring professional chef Boya to cook all kinds of different food every day. Our riders were very pleased to travel with our chef Boya. After breakfast in the morning, packing our needs horses is the most challenging work, but our guide Dalatem does it really fast with quite professional skill. As we travel, we have met locals who prepare the hay for the winter as a traditional way, which means by their hands. It was fascinating to see it nowadays when everything is done by machine or technique. It is an important event for reindeer people who worship their own mountain and always with their relatives together every 1 or 2 years, because most of the reindeer peoples are shamanist people. We met few locals coming down from the mountain worshiping. Right now we are traveling in a very narrow valley inside in the very deep forest. This is where the narrow valley finishes and beginning of vast valley. We had our lunch with wild berries everywhere. Some of us even forgot about lunch, eating wild organic berries. Not only this place, also most of the place around here all covered with blueberries, and reindeer people call it as a blue valley. Seems very delicious. Everybody loves having wild berries on the way. On the way, we passed a very rocky river a few times and met very vivid route. Dala Demden was telling a story about this route, as there wasn't used to be any route early time when it was always challenge for us to travel. But once, some people found gold at the place called Green River. Then many locals and outsiders come through here a lot. That's why we have this vivid route. Not long after, luckily government registered place as a national park and forbidden to dig any kind of minerals. He is very pleased about decision and save his homeland from gold diggers. During the trip, all our riders were very excited to see this beautiful land with our horses. They were very amazed by Mongolian horse skills as well. Mongolian horses are much smaller than the foreign horses, but they're extremely tough and very challenging to anything. Finally, we reached the hill of Minkbolak. We need decent preparation to climb. We have checked all our loaded luggages and rest our horses for a while. Then we climbed very upward to the hill. As in Mongolian tradition, we showed respect to mountain over and you can also wish something good for your life before you go down. During 20th of June till 15th of August, all reindeer people had gathered this valley together, spent the summer. Then we had met our reindeer family that we attempted to see along the way. Reindeer family was very pleased to receive us and offered us with reindeer dairy products. It was an unforgettable evening for each of us. You can see dried curds in a teepee made by all reindeer milks. That's how they store them for the winter food. Our 50th day starts. Family we have traveled for a few days was Batwayr Chulun, who is a local of Tsagan Norsum. In 2018, he received an award of National Reindeer Herder from government for herded and breeded 147 reindeers. Main goal of our trip is stay with reindeer family and help them for migrating to their winter pasture for 3 days. Along the way, explore their unique culture and tradition is quite unique experience for all of us. According to our plan, we migrate with them, with their family, which was a remarkable day. That is how days with happily appreciated reindeer culture had begun. Reindeer people originated from Tova tribe, from Russia, who settled in Mongolia. Their main survival supply is only reindeer. That's why they have been migrating with them for 4 seasons in Great Tag of Olango, Rinchinlump, Bainzuru, Khangsum, and Hubsco province. As you can see, the reindeers, which all belonged to Batwayr family. They breeded them very nicely and have got 147 reindeers right now. All our reindeer riders were excited to see this all reindeers in the one time and take photos and exploring them as well. Today is very first day of migrating with reindeer family. They are putting their teepee down and pack everything on the reindeer. While they're loading their stuffs, we were packing our luggage on the horses as well. It's our first day of reindeer ride, which is such an exciting event for all our riders. Everybody very tempted to see how it feels riding a reindeer. Reindeer family and our guides were pretty amazed by our reindeer rider's skill. It seemed they had easy bonding with the reindeers and had been riding reindeer for a long time. Reindeer tribes entered in Mongolia history just 200 years ago. Very first archive of reindeer tribe is in 1764. Ulesta's governor recorded a total 22 families and 192 reindeers at Darkhat. Most of historians prove their main origin Tova tribe and settled in Hubsco Tag means Hubsco forest. Around 200 reindeer people are living in such a harsh weather of -31 to -50 degrees during the winter. As you can see, our riders were very professional with the reindeer. Some of them feels a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but seems very natural in the late afternoon. Reindeer tribe is one of the unique minority with own language, culture, way of living, and religion. They speak Uyghur language. In taiga, they speak Uyghur to each other. Main religion is shamanism. Their main survival support used to from reindeer's milk, fur, meat, and also hunting. But since government stated the place as national park, it's forbidden to hunt in taiga. Inside the tepi, north side, they place their ancestor worship because they are all shaman people. One of the main food resource for reindeer is the moss, which only grows in Darkhat Stenker Hator. So reindeer people divided into Huskul right and left taiga. Around 60% of tribe lives in East taiga and Darkhat Stenker Hator. Reindeers are not good at adapt at warm weather, but very adapted to cold, high mountain atmosphere. Our national herder, Batwire, was leading the migration with his wife and rest of us following the herd. Our riders were all excited for the trip and surely was the one of the lifetime experience. Mongolian reindeers are usually brown, brown-gray, or white-gray. They have large head and short neck, high crest, slim body, long legs, and flat hoofs. Reindeer hoof is forked, that's why they take it big steps, but once they take the hoof back from the ground, it tuck back, which is the trick to not to sink in the snow or mud. Reindeers are never get cold because their hair is 2 to 3 centimeters long and thick, dense, fine fur. Nowadays, we use the reindeer skin fur for winter boots a lot. Reindeer's hair fell down April to May and grow in September fully, which means this is the time their hair is fully grown. Once we visit the reindeers, they weren't fat. Reason is they need to be snowy, cold place to gain weight. All reindeer, either it's female or male, got horns, but according to their age and sex, the horns length and split numbers are different. Reindeer male called Iktir, female called Manchtak, and baby called Hokshit in Mongolian. As you can see, Mongolian red taiga or red forest is full of color. We have red and yellow, orange colors and everywhere. Such a colorful season. Then we have arrived at beautiful camping spot in the evening. We unpack everything and set the tepi and preparing for our decent dinner. Before that, we had reindeer rice right after we have arrived. Our riders just started riding reindeer this morning, but they have decided to race in the evening with the reindeers, which easily proves how good and prepared riders they were. Also, it was amazing opportunity for them to experience such an extraordinary event. Of course, we have prepared an award for the winners. Obviously, kids won the race, but one of our riders, Chloe, did an amazing job to be in a 5th place. As you can see, she's quite dedicated for the race. As you can see, we are giving the award to the first 5 riders in the Mongolian tradition. Now it's time for prize giving ceremony. reindeer people as well as Mongolian guide, and we were very excited and very amazed by our rider skill. First place prize goes to Batwairsan Sogra by Daladamdang. Second prize goes to Bayer Chaklan by Guide Hoiga. And third place goes to Batwair's Daughter by our translator Horla. Fourth place prize given by National Reindeer Herder. And fifth place prize goes to Chloe by Guide Noro. Our reindeer is even excited for the medals as well. Chloe is excited for the prize as well. Race was an unforgettable moment for every one of us and captured a memorable photo as well. In the evening, we have plenty of stories to share about reindeers while we listen reindeer tribe tradition songs. Morning of our 6th day. Our riders were explorers as well. They woke up at 5 a.m. to see how to make reindeer. Batwair's wife Tagander wake up very early to do her daily job with the reindeers. First thing is milk the reindeers. Each milking season, she collects 96 to 100 liters of milk. Reindeer milk is extremely rich, even it can substitute mother's milk for infants. When you boil, it never spills out. Dried curds are very rich with the cream and very soft. Once you have a cup full of boiled milk, you don't feel hungry at all day. It's how rich it is. Milking season for reindeers are short. Main time is June to September. It was fascinating to see kids were sleeping outside with single layer of dell while we were putting extra layers on our tents during the night. These reindeer people are extraordinarily adapted to cold weather. New day has begun with happy and cheerful boys again. Locals don't herd their reindeers much during the summertime except for milking. They choose the place in valley of forest with wild mushroom to be their fall pasture in the late summer, when all plants and flowers dried. They usually move 1 or 2 times to change their fall pasture. Good pasture place made reindeers gain weight easily. They milk their female reindeers for 2 times a day, which is 5 a.m. in the morning and 9 p.m. in the evening. After they milk them in the evening, baby reindeer graze with their mothers for a while, then bring them back to tie small ones during the nighttime. You need to tie reindeers together in the fall time, otherwise they will chase after mushroom and never come back. About the traditional tepi for reindeer people. Tepi is reindeer tribe's home for ancient time. To set the tepi starts with putting the trees together and cover it with animal skin. Large tepi needs 28 to 32 trees, medium one needs 20 to 25 trees, and small one just needs 17 to 22 trees. Most of the time they use dried larch, which is around 3.5 to 4 meters long. In early days, they used reindeer skin and hunted animal skin to cover their tepi, but nowadays they use waterproof tent cloth. Here we riding reindeers going down. Daladamden did guiding many times, and he is expert of medicinal herb. He knows many medicinal herb on the way and pointing us and showing us how to use it, what's it good for. He said his homeland is place of medicinal herb. And also he said he knows many locals who knows them very well. It's Our responsibility to pass the knowledge to our next generation is a very important thing. He mentioned it. As we traveled, we stopped in beautiful lake for camping. Reindeer people, we live in Tag Forest. Following our reindeer's food and plants, we need to move few times. Reindeers are hard to handle and herd, especially during the spring and fall. In fall, they chase after mushrooms in forest and gone for many days. Then we need to look for them for a while. I want to say to all reindeer tribe people to herd and breed your reindeer good, to have as many reindeers as possible. Seventh day of our trip started in beautiful place with the beautiful lake. Today we have to ride through high passes with our reindeer. We are all amazed at how strong animals they are. Reindeer people's way of living is depend on reindeer food and their place. Reindeers eat moss all year round. That's why the reindeer people had to follow them through very isolated areas with 2,500 to 3,500 meters altitude, high mountains, and lived in a teepee. They used to hunt for meat, but now after the regulation they could not hunt anymore. In 2012, government announced the East Tagas National Park, but some zones were selected as scientific research area, which included reindeer pasture. This affected two reindeer tribes very hard for their lifestyle. These changes were hard to every reindeer people when they have been hunting on their land for many years. This decision made reindeer people impossible to survive during the winter time. But luckily, from December of 2012, government stated project to support reindeer people, which include 70,000 to group for children and 130,000 to group for adults every month. They are very positive about this decision. From the top of the mountain, you can have full vision into far direction, which highly spiritual place for all of us. We were so proud of our country at that time, and every Mongolians get quite emotional. Of course, we took memorial photo together, but everyone had a picture on their heart as well. So it was time to go back to camping spot.
I was here in January for a camel trek in the Gobi Desert, and it was amazing to see the winter in Mongolia. Mm-hmm. And I'm lucky enough to be here now to see the summer and the end of the summer. Mm. And it's just beautiful. I love all of the seasons of Mongolia. And it just, when I come back, it feels like coming home. I love experiencing the animals and the seasons and everything about it. I feel very much at peace. Mm-hmm. Just happy and relaxed and thankful to have the opportunity to experience this.
Well, I never dreamt of an expedition like this. It's absolutely amazing. The whole idea caught my imagination, and I just thought, wow, it's like being at the top of the world, coming up here. I've never seen so many mountains so far in my life, and the people are wonderful. From the moment I stepped foot in Mongolia, it just felt so welcoming, and here we are in a very remote part and people are still looking after us. It's absolutely amazing.
I don't think anybody could say anything bad about Mongolia. It is a majestic country with majestic people, majestic animals, and I personally feel very privileged and grateful to be part of this journey. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for sure.
Mongolia is the most incredible country that has captured my heart. I have travelled across the steppe and now I'm in the mountains and with the reindeer people, which has just been awe-inspiring. That they work with these animals and they live in this area is just absolutely mind-boggling. I don't know how they do it, but I'm humbled to be here. What a fantastic place.
What I like most about Mongolia is its people. We're so lucky that the families that we've met have welcomed us with open arms. They're just amazing people in a beautiful, beautiful place. Riding the reindeer and spending time with the reindeer and the horses is definitely a highlight for me. And just being welcomed here. It's magical is the word I would use to describe this experience. Just purely magical.
I love Mongolia. The people are so beautiful, and they laugh so much. They're so happy to have us here, we hope. But we are happy to be here, and we are very honoured to be here. The horses are amazing to ride. The country to ride through is so beautiful. And it feels like riding through a garden. We can pick blueberries to eat. And then we come here to ride the reindeer. They're so gentle, they're so beautiful, and it's a dream country.
So I've been coming to Mongolia, this will be my 6th year coming here, and it captured my heart all those years ago, and it still continues to this day. I think there's so many aspects of this country that I love. The horses and galloping across the steppe has obviously been one of the main highlights. But coming here to this amazing place, I came here 4 years ago and travelled here on my own and met the reindeer family and just thought it was the most magical place in the world. And I am so happy to organise another trip with half of Urumburun and Setski to bring back more people and show them this amazing place. Today has been an especially magical day for me, and I hope that everyone on this trip appreciates how magical it is. I hope every Mongolian at home watching this appreciates how magical this part of the country is, how magical these people are. I think to be on a mountaintop like this is a very special experience. I feel very lucky that this family, the Satsan, have opened their arms and shared this with us. I think Mongolia continues to be a magical place and continues to inspire me and continues to amaze me in all that I've learned and all I've seen here. I mean, I think this is a beautiful place. And I just feel very lucky about it. I think organising a trip like this is always very difficult. There's many challenges. Just trying to get in contact with the families is always a challenge. But I think with the help of so many wonderful people, both Mongolians and myself, this trip has been more than I could have ever hoped for. It has just been really magical. I think the reindeer are an amazing creature. I thought that they were an amazing creature 4 years ago. And I think today they have blown me away even more with all their ability and their strength and the way they can climb a mountain so much smoother than a horse and carry us. They really, really impressed me. So I think this has been all that I've hoped for and more, and I hope everyone appreciates it, and I hope everyone at home watching this can get a little bit of the magic as well.
So we are going back to our camping spot. I'm sure every evening was full of great stories to hear. Everybody was just amazed by how beautiful that Mongolian nature is. Day by day, they're excited, they're really happy to explore this Mongolian beautiful tag. I'm sure they had their best memory as well. Eighth day of our trip started. It started quite busy so far, in a glamorous morning. It's the day we need to leave Reindeer family, sadly. Batwire, who's the head of the family, needs to stay and take care of his herd while his wife brings their children to school in Taganursun. As a big surprise, Batwire gave us a baby reindeer. My name is Batwire Cholon. In 2018, I'm officially become national reindeer herder. I'm very humbled that Mongolian government appreciate my work with reindeer and gave me this prize. I started herding reindeer since when I was a little child. I inherited these skills from my parents. Herding reindeer is a lot complicated than 5 domestic animals, but I never sit back just because it's hard to handle. I've been doing this all of my life. From 2012, government-supported reindeer tribe with money allowance makes people herd reindeer a lot, and reindeer numbers increased instantly. Once we have the money, we don't eat reindeer's meat a lot. I became very first national reindeer herder. I wish many reindeer herders have this prize in the future. Early days, young people don't want to be herder. But after support of government, many young herders want to have reindeer and live in a mountain. If there wasn't support, we have left with very few families stay as reindeer herder. Reindeer have baby once in a year around 20th of April or May. After offspring starts in September. We have few tourists come to Taga. It's another good support from us. When they buy our handcrafts made by our reindeer horns. I do some by myself. Some tourists ride reindeer and travel around. Also, my boys likes to do handcrafts as well. Since we have government support, it made so much difference. We can buy our flour and rice and clothes easily. My name is Tagander Bayram. I live in West Jaga for 20 years by herding reindeers. I started milking reindeer since spring once they have a newborn babies in 20th of May. I milk them till November, but you can milk them during the December. But I need to move near the zone for my children's school. When I left them with my husband while I go to center with my children, men don't milk reindeers here. Sometimes I visit my herd, milking them, keep the milk in a container and use it till all spring. I inherited my reindeer herd from my ancestors. That is why even it's risky, hard life, but I really enjoy living in mountains with my reindeers. Before the government support, we used to eat reindeer meats a lot. But now we have an allowance. It's easier for us to prepare our supply and support my children's education. Also, we can buy our food supply from center easily. That's why our reindeer's number increased fast. Reindeer tribe people are very thankful for the government decision. This decision made so much difference to our life. We need to take care of our reindeers from wolves and herd them good in the nice pastures. That's our only goal right now. We used to have hard time buying supply before the allowance. Now I'm very motivated to live as a reindeer herder. We were extremely overwhelmed about the gift, and we all treated our very first small reindeer with salt and took a photo with him, then decided to call him as a Big Dipper. Early days of reindeer tribe's lifestyle changed a lot lately. They used to wear animal fur clothes. clothes and covered their teepee with the reindeer skin, but these styles were all gone. They still live in teepee, but they ride horses, speak in Mongolian, wears Mongolian dells, eats mutton and goat meat just like nowadays nomads. We have seen these reindeer people already stepped into modern days innovations such as TV, mobile, phone, and etc. But their biggest concern is losing their language, said Batwair. Reindeer people's children go to local school for education. That's how they speak Mongolian perfectly, but they are using the traditional language Urencha less each year. Our 9th day all started. We were all coming back to the Daladamdan scare and family. We all going down, and we were quite sad that we leave our beautiful reindeer family. And everybody wished a great luck for their life and future winter. Many foreign people interested to see reindeer tribe. They mentioned that a lot of tourists come to Mongolia without any Mongolian company or people's guidance. They just bring a group of people in everywhere without proper visa, or Ministry of Foreign Affairs does not have any regulation about it. That is why some foreign person does business by traveling visa and make money just for themselves without paying any tax to our country. Also, it's getting popular. They sell their footages or photos to travel companies in high price. Some foreigners come to reindeer tribe without any translator, which was quite complicated for them. Some of them stay 4 days, 2 weeks, 3 months, even 1 year. When we talked with them about the reason they want to see reindeer tribe is they want to challenge themselves to travel remote place by vehicle in 20 hours and half day by horse. Also see unique lifestyle which they could not experience in their highly developed country. Traveling business supports local families and local shops and gas stations a lot in Tsaranorsum, Ulan and Rinchen. It's our time to go back home. All horses were excited to going home. And the very last route, everybody wants to gallop. You see how well riders we had. Yaks are one of the main animal in Husko. They are very furry and their milk is much richer than the normal cow. And they have a small attitude as well. So once we come back to Daladamdan's home, some people come and try to show their handcrafts made by reindeer horns. Our riders were excited to see their stuff and some of them want the little souvenir for their family and then buy it for someone special. Our very last rider comes, Stephanie, come with the horse. And we welcomed every rider with the long blue silk with cup full of milk with silver bowl, as an indication of celebrating the safe journey to home. Everybody is happy that trip has finished successfully and that they have a beautiful memory and times experience on their own. Very last memorial photo together with our horses. Everybody is happy, smiling all together, and they fell in love with Mongolia. Our 10th day started. My name is Dala Demden, local citizen of Soyabak, Ulan in Husko province. From 2000, I work as a guide with many tourists and explorers. I met many wonderful people and bring them to reindeer tribes and show my beautiful homeland. It's been 20 years I've been traveling with them. This trip went very well. They have seen reindeer people's life fully and had even raced together. I haven't seen this well-organized and successful trip so far. I'm very pleased.
My name is Trudy Thomas Morton and I'm from New Zealand. This trip has just been absolutely incredible. We have been through such a diverse range of the environment. We've been across the plains, we've been through forests, we've been way up into the top of the mountains, and it has just been spectacular. It takes your breath away just to see all of the to see all of the countryside of Mongolia. As far as the reindeer and the reindeer people, that was an incredible experience. We were welcomed with open arms, and we were allowed to ride the reindeer, who I've ridden lots and lots of horses, but the reindeer are just so smooth, and they're such a kind animal. You literally just sit on them and they go generally where you want them to go. They are strong, they have got incredible stamina and endurance. I've worked with camels, I've worked with horses, and now I've ridden reindeer. Reindeer have definitely got a piece of my heart. They're just incredible animals. The people have been so welcoming, and we've just felt at home. We've just felt part of the family. I have eaten so much that I'm going back so much heavier, but that's just through the generosity and the hospitality of the people. If anybody from Mongolia wants to come to New Zealand, my door is always open, because, you know, I can't repay this. This has just been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much.
My name is Chloe, and this has been 6 years coming to Mongolia for me, and every time I always learn something new. And I think with the reindeer tribes, the biggest thing I've learned is their isolation and how remote they are compared to the rest of Mongolia, but also how beautiful the reindeer are, how kind and gentle. I think this trip has been different from some of the other trips I've done, because it's been quite difficult getting to the reindeer people. We've had to take everything in on horses. We couldn't take any vehicles with us, but it was totally worth it when we got to the reindeer families. Those reindeer families have been incredibly welcoming. They took us in, they provided us with beautiful food and a place to stay. And just the whole trip was just really, really lovely. I think we were blown away by how strong the reindeer were, how they could just carry us across terrain that was beautiful. And everything the reindeers could do in these really big mountains that a horse can't do or a camel can't do. The trip was wonderful. I always love Mongolia, but this was extra special to get to migrate with a reindeer family, and of course do it with amazing people and get to show people this way of life in these remote mountains.
My name is Sue. I'm from New Zealand, and in many ways New Zealand is similar, but also vastly different. We have, our lifestyle, our economy depends on livestock. So we have sheep and we have cows and we have deer, but we don't have reindeer. And if I was standing in a large open space in New Zealand with the mountains behind, which we do have, there would be fences. One person's land is fenced off from another person's land. And I have just so loved being able to ride across these open spaces, and the way the people here interact, and the one herder's sheep are here and another herder's sheep are here, but they manage them and they keep them separate, but they talk and they get along and they laugh together, and it's wonderful. So my big impressions, my best impressions, is the wide open space of the scenery here, and the lovely, the smell of the pine and the plants and the juniper berries as we ride along. the horses have been amazing. They're so sure-footed, they're so honest. We set off on horseback and carrying everything we needed, and with such wonderful people to look after us and make meals for us, and then up to the reindeer people who, you know, are slightly different. They have a slightly different dialect, and the reindeer are so gentle. They're just angelic animals. They're so happy and gentle, and they let us ride them, which was amazing. They float. They seem to they dance along and they float above the ground almost, and they go places you cannot believe where they go, but they're just so lovely to ride. And we had such fun herding the reindeers. It was just, we laughed and people sang, and we had great times. And then to come back, I was sad to leave, but then the last little ride we came across this big open space, and we were galloping home, and the horses were happy to be galloping home, I think. And then we came back with the welcome of the people here, and it's just it's memories that will stay with me forever and that I will treasure forever. So thank you.
My name's Dina and I'm from New Zealand. This is my first time in Mongolia. It has been a magical experience. It really is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. We travelled further up north and saw all sorts of terrain. I think travelling in autumn is beautiful as well, watching the trees change colour, the streams flowing, and everything's quite fruitful at the moment. We came across blueberries, wild rhubarb, wild thyme. It's really just a magical time to travel. When we arrived at the reindeer, it was my first experience up close with a reindeer, and then we were really lucky to have the opportunity to ride them and help herd them up to their winter pastures. The reindeer are very kind animals, and felt extremely safe riding them. They're very clever with how they work around each other, and with their antlers you can be right in the middle of a herd and not be hit once, and so that was fantastic. And look, I think the animals, the people, they are just very, very kind, humble people, and amazing to travel with. So I've had the experience of a lifetime, no doubt, and I'm very sad to leave, actually. I could stay here a lot longer.
My name's Stephanie. I'm from Australia. This is my first trip to Mongolia. It is beyond beautiful. It is a magical place. Everyone who's organised the trip, all the families that we've travelled with and stayed with have just been amazing. I don't think I've met more welcoming people anywhere in the world. The animals are just so strong and so brilliant. We travelled on horseback to over 3,000 metres in altitude, and the horses just performed beautifully. A highlight for me was just even seeing the reindeer, but riding the reindeer, they are just so smooth. Any terrain that they travel across, it's just like you're floating on their back. They can go places that the horses can't go, and they just do it so effortlessly. They're just such a lovely, happy animal. The Mongolian landscape, every day it just kept getting more beautiful, and I thought surely this is as beautiful as it could possibly get, and then we'd turn a corner and we'd be swimming in a lake on our way back to camp, and it was just so picturesque and so beautiful. I'll definitely never forget this trip. It's once in a lifetime trip. If you ever get a chance to come to Mongolia, you should definitely come to Mongolia.
Hi, my name is Rose Sandler. I'm from California in the United States, and I'm here in Mongolia after visiting the reindeer people up in the mountains in the taiga, and it was just beautiful. The people are lovely and welcoming. This is my third time in Mongolia. I was here for the Mongol Derby 4 years ago and loved it, and I had the opportunity to come back in January and ride camels in the winter, and it was just gorgeous. And I have a little friend, absolutely irresistible, and this trip has just shown me an entirely different side of Mongolia. The people are just as lovely and welcoming, and just the terrain is so varied and so beautiful, with the mountains and the rivers and the woods and the trees, and seeing the different sides of Mongolia. So I've seen it in winter and summer, and this is a little bit of the fall, and I like all of the faces of Mongolia. I love it, and I will absolutely recommend to anybody that this is a wonderful place to visit. Riding the reindeer was so smooth. They just float over the land. I can completely understand how a legend could arise of them flying, because they just climb the mountains where horses can't go and people can barely walk. And they're so strong and so gentle and kind, and they just are so integrated with the people. They're very much one. The people with the reindeer and the way of life. We had the opportunity to try the reindeer milk. It was so thick and yummy, and it was delicious. Absolutely delicious. The dairy products are just amazing. I will really miss that.
Our trip was successfully finished in every way. Even Masters of the Spiritual Mountains blessed our journey. Some days were extremely rainy, but never happened to our route. Our journey needs to end up here. Before that, of course, the family treated us with the last meal, very special meal named horhok. They boil whole sheep in a pot with the hot stone. It's the most respectful food for every guest. And Dalai Damdam was a quite generous person and very loved guy, and he treated us very beautifully. And we need to say goodbye to the wonderful family. Our riders arrive at the Murung airport, fly back to Ulaanbaatar. It was time to say goodbye to marvelous reindeer place that has tinkered with its own beauty.